We're only a week into Black History Month, and so much has already happened. I'm sure you saw this week that Trump posted a video on his social media site depicting the Obamas as apes in the jungle. It was taken down after hours went by, and an unnamed White House official claimed that it was an error. But what's even more disturbing is what seems to be happening off social media. Right now, there is an effort that is underway to corrupt Black history itself, it seems, including the story of Medgar Evers, a civil rights hero who was murdered in 1963. Park Service officials who asked not to be named told Mississippi Today that they've been ordered to scrub brochures at the Medgar and Myrlie Evers Home National Monument to remove references to the fact that Evers' convicted assassin, Byron De La Beckwith, was a racist. But honestly, the word racist isn't harsh enough for Beckwith. This guy was a committed member of not one, but two white supremacist groups. And witnesses testified that at a Klan meeting, he said, quote, "Killing that N-word gave me no more inner discomfort than our wives endure when they give birth to our children." Joining us now is Reverend Mark Thompson, faith leader, activist, and host of the Make It Plain podcast. Reverend Thompson, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us, and happy Black History Month to you.
Same to you. I wish it was under better circumstances, though.
Yes, to put it diplomatically. Do you think it's a coincidence that all of this seems to be rolling out during the month of February?
No, not at all. And he has a history of saying ridiculous things this time of month. Remember his first term, he complimented all the great work that Frederick Douglass was still doing, right? And we know that he's distracting from other issues in his life. And Medgar Evers himself is not a coincidence at all. You all have been talking about ICE all evening and these armed forces. What did he do in Fulton County? He's almost as if he's reliving the period after Reconstruction known as Redemption, where there was violent election and voter intimidation. And I think he is signaling what he intends to do this November and on into 28. Gloria Laster just yesterday held a New York memorial service for her sister, the shero Claudette Colvin, and Chelsea Clinton spoke. And for many of us, when Chelsea Clinton came in, she was a Clinton. But by the time she finished and she mentioned the ape video and how the White House defended it, saying they called her mother a bore, she became a daughter whose mother had been attacked. Malia and Sasha's parents have been attacked. And now Rena Evers' father and Myrlie Evers' husband these are all human beings. They're not just inanimate icons. We know their tremendous contribution to our lives and our history, but these are still people who are family members of other family members. And he is very and disgustingly disrespectful.
I want to add, you made reference to the fact that this may not be a coincidence that this is coming after what we saw happen in Fulton County and with all the election concerns, because for anyone at home who maybe doesn't know Medgar Evers' full story, he was the field secretary for the NAACP, and he was murdered by a white supremacist because he was registering Black people to vote.
Absolutely.
Just felt like
on the night President Kennedy spoke, on the night President Kennedy gave his speech about his most famous speech about civil rights from the Oval Office. And so this is not the way to honor Black history, but we know that's not what he does. And frankly, as Byron De La Beckwith was an admitted white supremacist, Trump may as well be also.
Reverend Mark Thompson, thank you so much for your time this evening.